Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Metal Magdalene with Jet right here on Metal Messiah Radio. Tonight we have a special guest with us. We have Mallika of Abnormality. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you, Jet.
Okay, so Mallika, last time we had you on was with the Sick Drummer magazine special for your other band, Castrator, there. So what's going on with that band?
Castrator is a side project, and we just get together as often as we can and write music, record, play shows. So, yeah, not too much going on right now. We're just writing for another album with that band.
That's like your fun little side project.
Yes, it's my chance to hang out with other ladies because, you know, death metal can be a big sausage fest often.
Often, always. Okay, so Mallika, before we get into the new album, tell us a little bit about your cute little girl self. Here you are, nice, innocent little girl turned demonic growler. When did you start getting interested in metal music?
Well, I've always been interested in, you know, heavier kinds of music. It started with rock and roll, hard rock, and then, you know, more mainstream metal into death metal. You know, started listening to it in high school and into college, and been playing with death metal bands since I was 21, which was over 10 years ago.
Oh my God, you
I
wouldn't
say exactly how old I am now, but I've been doing it a long time, over a decade.
So when did you learn, like, oh my God, I could growl like they can? Were you just like singing along to songs and be like, I can fucking do this?
Yeah, it was basically like that, just loving the music and singing along to albums, and it didn't come right away. It just took some practice, of course, some hard work.
And now, as far as doing that kind of vocalization now, did you have to, like, get any special training, or did you, like, go to YouTube and try to find, like, techniques so you don't hurt yourself?
Well, when I started doing it, there was no YouTube.
Oh, you keep dating your...
to put it into perspective, yeah, I'm self-taught. I had some friends that were musicians that were giving me some pointers, but with growling, it's kind of something you just have to figure out for yourself. There's not, like, really one way of doing it, and everybody's voice is different. So just took practice, finding the right part of my vocal cords to use. But I was, like, a singer, you know, since I was a kid, doing chorus and things like that. So the breathing technique is the same. It's just a different part of your throat that you use for growling.
Oh, chorus, easy A. No.
But I did, you know, later on, after forming Abnormality, I did want to work on my technique a little bit. I took a few lessons from an opera singer, so that helped me with singing from the diaphragm.
Now, I know women have come a long way in metal, but do you ever feel that you're treated with the same respect as the guys? I mean, does it vary from, like, country to country, or do you think... I mean, obviously, if you've been around before YouTube, you've been in the scene for a while, so you've probably seen that. I mean, you know, what are your feelings, and how do you feel, you know, people treat you now?
I think, you know, the metal scene has gotten more accepting towards women, and there's a lot more women involved, more bands with ladies. I haven't had too much, you know, disrespect directed at me, and usually it's behind the scenes that someone will say something disrespectful, but I don't let it bother me. I brush it off, you know. Things are changing, and as more women get involved in the metal scene, it will be more commonplace, and it's great getting support from other ladies and giving support.
And it's true. It's like you said, I don't see much of a problem anymore as compared to the maybe 10 years ago. I don't know if it was so much a problem as a shock. There just wasn't a lot of female super heavy people out there that... in public, at least, or, you know, that you could go to a venue and see these women. And I think now there's a sisterhood, because there are already, like you said, there's a lot more women in metal now, and, you know, you're not the only one anymore, so...
Yes. It's like anything else where, you know, in male-dominated fields, it can be quite sexist, until
sure.
things change and it gets more balanced. And it's been in a lot of different areas. Like news reporting used to be all
Sure.
men, and now it's 50-50. So I think it'll be the same way with metal and death metal eventually.
It is. It's getting there, and I think it's almost totally acceptable now. Nobody's shocked anymore. However, another thing I wanted to ask you, because you're so small, you're just this little girl. What do people think, honestly? Like, especially if you go to a place that like you've never been before, and you get up there on stage, and people are like, "Oh, okay, that's cool, nice little chick," and then you start singing. What are some of these people's reactions?
Well, some people know us, but, it is fun looking out at a crowd that hasn't seen us before in a new town or city. And it's fun to, see the reactions. They're not expecting something that brutal, and I can literally see jaws drop sometimes. That's fun for me. I like blowing someone's expectations out of the water. It's fun.
It is funny because I've gone to see women bands who's like, what is this going to be? Some kind of progressive thing that we're going to see here? And then they start growling. I'm like,
yeah, I think people expect like a symphonic band or something.
Not even close.
Yeah.
So, Mallika, let's talk a little bit about Abnormality then. Give us a little history behind the band, when you started out, you guys are from all over the place, I guess, now, and who's in it?
Well, I formed the band in 2005 with the drummer Jay. Back then, I was just looking for a band. I had played in some other projects that fell apart. So I was, searching for, a band or forming a band, and I met Jay through a metal forum. Back then, that's how musicians, met up with each other. Return to the Pit, you probably know it.
Sure,
it's a New England, U.S. Website. So I just, made a post on there that I was looking for a band, and Jay contacted me. He actually had another band at the time called Tear Down, and he said I could come down and jam with them and do a song with them at a show, just to help me find a band. But he was so impressed with my vocals that we formed a side project after that. So it was originally one of the guitarists in Terrorism, and then we found Jeremy, the other guitarist, soon after that. But the original guitarist is no longer with us, and we have a brand new guitarist now. His name's Sam. And Josh joined around 2009, the bass player. He's been with us for quite a while now, too. So that's basically how it all started. And the cover song that we did was Desperate Cry by Sepultura. Mm-hmm. So that's a little history there.
Mm-hmm. And are you guys now based all over the place? I mean, where are you guys all from?
We're all from Massachusetts, mm-hmm. The Boston and Worcester areas. We practice in Marlborough. Mm-hmm. That's pretty close to Worcester. But I just recently moved to Prague, Czech Republic, but I'm flying back and forth as much as I need to keep the band going.
Okay, so you guys have 2 albums out now. Your newest ones, Mechanisms of Omissions, out on Metal Blade Records. Now, did you sign with Metal Blade before or after this one was recorded?
Yeah, we signed with Metal Blade before we had the album completely done, written, and then we recorded after we had already signed with them. So, yeah, they were, signed us on for multiple albums. So we're very, very excited, of course, to be working with, the biggest label in extreme metal and death metal.
And so this is your first album out with them, coming out next month, the 29th, you said?
Yes, 29th of April.
Okay, so explain to us the title then. Sounds pretty geeky.
Yes, it's a little nerdy, but I like it. It makes you think, we tend to choose song titles and album titles that, reflect what we're about and make you think. So Mechanisms of Omniscience, it's about, the many ways that the media, the government, those in power manipulate the masses, subconsciously.
And now your artwork is also featured as the album cover, so tell us, what were you going with that? It's actually really super cool, by the way.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, I knew what the title of the album was going to be, so I wanted to capture that and, the general mood and feeling throughout the album, all the different song subjects that we have to capture it in one album cover. And I worked with my bandmates on it, getting feedback from them. So, yeah, I'm happy with the way it came out.
So what is this album basically about as far as, themes throughout the whole thing?
Between all the songs?
Sure.
Some songs are different, but, we're a band that's very into, conspiracy theories.
Oh, God.
And science fiction, it covers quite a range of topics, but we're at a really interesting time in history and with science and technology. Humanity is at a really interesting turning point right now. So, we write about those things, where we're at now and where things might go in the future, and a lot of dark things, politically and, with technology, the morality of what's going on in the world, to speak pretty generally about it. But yeah, and, we're unhappy with the media in the U.S. What the news covers is not really what's going on. They keep a lot of things quiet. They lie. They manipulate people to just, obeying what the politicians want. And, what the politicians are saying is, defending corporate interests is really what's going on. So we're, that's what we talk about, basically.
So then, Mallika, you must be really so upset that you're going to miss all these elections and stuff going on over here.
Yeah, it's interesting watching it from a distance right now, yeah. For sure.
You're probably like, we couldn't have gotten out of there at a better time.
What a circus, yeah. But, I think now is a good time to talk about all these things that we talk about in our songs. And
yeah, absolutely. Now, 10 tracks on the album. Now, did you guys do, any guests or any of that kind of stuff?
We didn't have any guest vocals or guest musicians on this one. We did in the past, but not on this album.
And was this particular album recorded locally in Massachusetts? Where did you record this one?
Yeah, we worked with the same producer we worked with for the past 2 records, Peter Ruccio. Mm-hmm. And it was mastered by Alan Duches. Mm-hmm. So yeah, we're really comfortable with Pete Ruccio, and we hadn't worked with Alan before, but we really liked what he did with the mastering. Mm-hmm.
So you were pretty happy with the final product then?
Yeah, I have to say it's definitely our best work yet, and probably the heaviest record yet, so we're really happy.
Well, I know at least that one song you released was pretty heavy. So what forms is this album going to be released now? Is it going to be, are you going to do it on vinyl? Is it just going to be on CD and digital?
Yeah, it's going to be all those formats.
Cool.
Yeah. Digital, CD, and vinyl, and the pre-orders are up on the Metal Blade website already.
Now, was your last album released on vinyl too?
It was after the fact, yeah. Mm-hmm. First it just came out on CD, and then later we released on vinyl. Yeah,
because vinyl is kind of cool now. Even I like it for the it's so collectible for the older people, but
yeah.
Like us. But a lot of the newer people, or the younger kids now, I notice are all crazy for vinyl too. So it's kind of, they're even coming back out with record players and all this other kind of stuff. It's just kind of crazy now.
Yeah, I definitely tend to collect vinyl more than CDs now. Mm-hmm. It's just, the art's big, it looks beautiful, it's great, and when I just want to listen to the music, I listen to the MP3 of it. I think that's what a lot of people do now. Mm-hmm.
But you could hold that album, it's big mm-hmm. and easy to see. It's not tiny. You could read the words on the back. It's amazing.
Yeah, all the lyrics and everything, yeah. And you could probably get a poster with it, too.
Yeah, all kinds of cool stuff come with them. Now, I see you guys are going on a pretty extensive U.S. tour. When does that kick off, and when does it wind up?
Yeah, it kicks off April 22nd in Texas and ends May 20th in California, and we're going all around the U.S.
Now,
what's that?
I was gonna say, you got plenty of new merch and stuff for all that.
Oh yeah, yes, we're going fully stocked with merch. Yep.
So you guys excited for that?
Yeah, it's quite an interesting mix of bands, but we're really excited. You know, Soulfly is a band that's been around a long time, and like I was saying earlier, Sepultura had a big influence on the band, so it'll be cool to be touring with Max Cavalera, and Suffocation's also a band that's had a huge influence on us. So one of my favorite bands since a long time. I'm really excited to be touring with them, and Battlecross is a great band on Metal Blade, you know, more thrashy, kind of, you know, almost metalcore a little bit, but like good band. And Lodi Kong, I haven't heard too much from them, but they're a young band. Son of two of the kids of Max Cavalera. It's pretty interesting.
Yeah, I've seen them. They kind of remind me of Nirvana a little. I don't know why. Maybe just looking at them.
Just a little grunge. It sounds like metal and grunge mix.
It does. And the funny part for me was Max making him sell all the stuff up at the merch. That's the plus side of bringing your kid on tour with you, you know?
Yeah, I actually got to meet Igor. I saw Soulfly here in Europe. They were on tour with King Parrot and some other bands, so I got to see them here and got a little preview of those bands. But yeah, the Lodi Kong kids were really friendly. They were really nice guys.
Yeah, they're a cool band to watch it, and I just kind of like that family dynamic a little bit, you know?
Yeah, wouldn't it be great to go on tour with your family and
your
significant other, like your kids? That would be really cool, I think.
Yeah, it is. And they're like the only ones that do it. It's just really cool. Now, do you guys have any plans on doing any touring overseas at all?
We did a European tour in 2014. We don't have any plans right now, but of course we would love to go back to Europe, you know, tour Europe again. It's one of the best metal scenes in the world. Right now we just have plans for a couple North American tours. You know, this first one with Soulfly and Suffocation. And then in the fall we plan to do another U.S. tour. After that, probably branching out, but no plans yet.
Yeah, well, that'll be the end of the year already, and we just started this, or it seems like we just started this year, but it's going to be freaking April. It's
spring. Don't get too far ahead. Yeah. You can enjoy the warm weather.
Oh my God. So Mallika, before we go, what are some of the best sites for people to go to keep up with the band and what's going on with you and all that kind of stuff?
We have a Facebook, we have Reverb Nation, we have Bandcamp, we have a page on the Metal Blade website that has all the information about the new album and how to order it. So that's metalblade.com/abnormality, and our Facebook, I believe, is facebook.com/abnormalityband. And we have a YouTube channel too, Abnormality Official. So you can find us through any of those sites.
Okay, cool. So again, the album coming out on Metal Blade April 29th, and you can check Abnormality out on tour all over the freaking United States from April 22nd to May 20th. Mallika, again, thank you for taking the time out to do this interview with us here, and congratulations on the new album, and all the best on tour.
Thank you so much, Jean. It's been a pleasure. Great talking to you again.